came home, there was a man in my house. He had an artificial arm.
Are you saying that I killed my wife? Are you saying that I crushed her skull and that I shot her?
And welcome back to Spitball Cinema. I'm Shane.
I'm Scott.
I'm David.
And today we are fleeing from the one-armed man.
The one-armed man.
Man, it is The Fugitive.
1993.
I was trying to do my Harrison Ford impression.
That was a Harrison Ford impression? I thought it was The Exorcist.
I thought he had a hairball.
Well, I do hate that.
Hey, he's been a little off on his impressions tonight.
I didn't kill my wife.
Oh,
Well, that
okay.
was fairly close.
Okay,
Thank
yeah.
you.
All right. That's a little
Let
better.
that one go.
Well,
Yeah,
well, see,
I'll allow that.
see, we knew what you were doing now. you know.
Oh, yeah.
So we were listening for it.
The Fugitive.
Yeah, Fugitive.
Awesome movie.
Yep.
Directed by
I don't know.
Andrew Davis.
Andrew Davis. I
who
couldn't
also-
remember who it
Who
was.
also directed the highly critical and box office smash Under Siege
Under
with Mr.
Siege.
Stevie Seagal
Oh, okay.
and also Mr. Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is kind of the breakout one for Tommy Lee Jones, really.
What?
I mean, this movie.
I don't think it's his breakout.
Coal
It
Miner's
made
Daughter.
him-
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you got
know,
Coal
but
Miner's
this-
Daughter,
But
man.
this movie
Yeah, but
is like quintessential. Like everything after this
well,
is the type of character that Tommy Lee Jones is known for.
this
Oh.
kind of brought him and cemented him for real.
Oh yeah.
You know, but even though he was established, this one really put him.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This
Him the
this was his
Oscar,
big one.
right?
You know.
Yeah, he won an
Yeah.
Oscar for this
It was for supporting, right?
supporting actor.
Yeah.
hmm
Was Harrison Ford nominated for Best Actor?
That I'm not sure. I don't think so.
I know.
I
It was
think
for
they'll-
Mosquito Coast, which I love.
Well,
love
he
Mosquito
and
Coast.
he was a witness. He was
Yeah.
nominated for. I didn't
Yeah.
know he was for Mosquito Coast.
Mhm.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, didn't win him though.
No.
Yeah, nominated and believe won, right, for Best Picture that year, right?
This yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember The Fugitive came out when I was in college, and we had a little small town movie theater, like a little 2-screen movie theater in town, and I had a buddy of mine that worked there, and so whenever they were done with the posters from the movie posters, they just throw them in the back, and you could and
Oh, wow.
you were allowed to like get a poster. It cost you like $3. You can just go back there and rummage $3 a poster. And so
Dude, that's awesome.
yeah, I grabbed like the Fugitive poster, because that would have just come out, and
No
I got a
kidding.
whole
That was a
bunch
cool
of
poster too.
Lady Hawk, Dead on Arrival, which was another
Oh,
beautiful
wow.
poster.
Yeah.
I really love movie posters and some of the designs and things, just with the art background.
I like your Lost Boys poster.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
do too.
it's a British Lost Boys.
Is it really?
British version? Yeah, it's at the horizontal instead of the vertical format.
Oh.
Wow.
So it's like the overseas British version.
Speaking
That
of,
one's
two of the
gorgeous.
Lost Boys are coming to Kansas City,
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
and one's
Comic-Con.
Mr. Kiefer Sutherland.
And none of that has anything to do with The Fugitive.
No.
So, back to that one. But yeah, no, but The Fugitive, it was a great movie. I remember when that came out. Harrison Ford was all the rage as it was.
Well, he's
he's
just
the draw,
he's just so solid in action movies, man.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
he just there's nobody that really could do those, and pull you in like it,
Well, I mean, he saved the Jack Ryan series because
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
he replaced
Alec Baldwin.
Alec Baldwin, who didn't want to do a sequel to
Yeah.
the movie because he's like, I'm not going to do.
Yeah, and Patriot Game is great,
Yeah, Patriot.
I mean,
really
so
good.
with him in this and this story, a lot of people older than us, they were very invested in The Fugitive when it was on TV with David
right,
Jansen.
from the old TV show, yeah.
Because when the final episode of The Fugitive with David Jansen, I mean, like, it was huge. I mean, millions and millions of people tuned in to watch that thing,
So
to
it
watch
was-
that final episode.
So it was one guy throughout the whole entire time. that
hmm
was
David
running.
David Jansen, sure was.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, always chasing the one-armed man, trying to find out who killed his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, because I guess they asked Alec Baldwin, and Alec Baldwin was going to do it with a director by the name of Walter Hill. And then the studio didn't think Alec Baldwin would be a big enough draw for the movie. So both of them walked away. They got this director by the name of Andrew Davis, who did Under Siege
Hmm.
for Warner Brothers. It was successful, and he did some other movies that were successful prior to Under Siege. And he, uh, I think they kept, even before Andrew Davis, the studio was trying to get Harrison Ford to play the character. But Harrison Ford's kept saying no. He goes, one of the big reasons why is that I don't want to be tied to this type of movie series like I am with Star Wars. Um,
Hmm.
Oh, was he afraid there was going to be like sequels or something? Or
exactly. He said,
Oh.
he goes, if
okay.
so, Andrew
Well, if it was an
Davis,
episodic TV show, I guess you could see that
Yeah.
yeah.
happening. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he said if you could find a director and a writer that finds to where the audience finds out who killed his wife at the end of the movie, I'm your guy.
To kind
Well,
of tie it all up.
To
yeah.
tie it all up. Yeah.
Well, I think that's good because honestly, Harrison Ford, and it was one of the things rewatching this film because I hadn't watched it in a while. Um, he delivers exactly the right amount of anger, hurt, the
Hmm.
pain, the just the everything that this
Yeah.
character goes through.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as acting chops goes, he runs the gamut
Oh
in
yeah.
this film. And he does a great job. And that's the thing. He loves something he can sink his teeth into. You know, um, he couldn't have played Tommy Lee Jones's character.
Mm-mm.
It
Right.
just wouldn't have felt right. But
Yeah. It
he
wasn't.
was that straight man, and Tommy Lee Jones was kind of like that self assured, cocky person that would normally be the Harrison Ford character, the
Right.
self assured, cocky person who
Right.
comes in
Right.
Well,
and take care of
generally,
everything.
if it was going to be made probably today, the Tommy Lee Jones character we would have hated because they would have made him out to be the villain cop. Um,
And they would have made him a woman.
probably,
Oh,
but
I'm going to catch hell for that.
yeah,
Get off my
please.
dress.
Yeah, stop it. So,
No, but I mean, yeah,
but
because everybody switches roles around.
but
That's what
what
I'm talking
made
about.
this movie even cooler was that we cared about Harrison Ford and we cared about Tommy Lee Jones.
I
But
re-
Tommy Lee Jones didn't care about Harrison Ford.
I really didn't care about any of them. I actually loved the one arm man. That was my favorite.
That sounds about right.
Now Celia Ward. Now she was.
Oh,
They killed her off too soon, man. She is very attractive woman.
She's a very attractive woman.
Yeah,
And it was
she's a great
really,
actress too.
Rachel Ward's sister.
yeah. And I'll tell you what, because you guys were kind of when I came in a little earlier, you guys were kind of watching some behind the scenes stuff, and they talked about how the original cut of the film was like 3 hours or
Yeah,
something, and
yeah,
then to cut it all back, they're like, yeah, so the whole part with the murder of the wife and the
The
like
fight.
little fundraising thing and the whole the fight that they just slashed the hell out of it, which means a ton of her scenes just hit the floor.
yeah,
And
yeah,
it's too bad because they had really good chemistry. Like
yeah.
when they
They
were in
did.
there talking to each other, she's like, "Oh my gosh, I thought I was running
Yeah,
out of jokes."
thanks for
Thanks for
saving
saving
me on
me,
that.
which is a little sad foreshadowing thing.
Yeah,
And then when she's laying there on the phone
and when
and she's trying to call 911 and she hears him come through the door, she's just like, Richard, Richard. And
he's
then,
trying to kill me, which
yeah,
they
leaves to
look
frame
at it.
him later.
Hmm.
That was just
Oh
heartbreaking.
yeah. Well, and then you
Oh,
see
she
that
was so
guy's
good.
that one scene you see that guy's hand go up and he's got some kind of
It's like a
like
it's a
a
decorative ball.
almost yeah
It's like a stone,
yeah
kind of
like
a
almost
round
like a
stone.
snow globe or something,
Yeah.
almost. And you see him just like go down. It doesn't show him hit her, but
Oh,
you're just like,
You
oh
can
no.
feel it. Yeah.
And then when Harrison Ford finds her and he grabs her and he's got her in his arms, I mean, it's just a touching. You're just like, oh,
yeah.
horrific scene.
Well, and then
And you haven't gotten really to know them real well yet.
no.
And that's what made it kind of great because you're already drawn to these two characters.
Yeah, they had good enough chemistry that you
Yeah.
could make those cuts to their scenes and
Oh,
you still felt that loss.
yeah. And we're only, what, 10 minutes into the movie?
Yeah.
If that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's, it's
Yeah.
it's really amazing that they had that, were able to convey that to the audience.
And one of the things I thought also that was interesting was that it was weird how they latched onto the narrative. You know, guy killed his wife, insurance money.
Yeah,
She comes from a wealthy family. Nah, 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 nah.
which was such a bullshit. I mean,
Oh,
the
it's just
dude
so
Well,
lazy.
everybody in the
is
theater was
so
like,
it's very lazy. I
Yeah,
mean, it's just like when Tommy Lee Jones asked him about it later. He said, "What do you mean? Uh, he,
he's a vascular
he
surgeon. He's
did it.
already
Yeah,
wealthy.
he did it for the money." They said, "Well, he would be richer." Which you can see on Tommy
And
Lee
have more.
Jones's face. He's
Yeah,
like, "This doesn't make sense."
yeah.
You know?
But
well, even that
and it kind of
shot.
shows a lot of the law enforcement is not being all that nice. Like
Oh
later
yeah,
on
they're
when he's trying to rescue the prison guard that gets shot
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
bus, and the other guy's like, "Whoop, I'm out of here," and then he's lying because he thinks his partner's dead. And there's no one that's gonna say. He's like, "Yeah, I tried to save him, but I couldn't. I did everything I could," and it's just like,
oh look at
And,
these.
and that one
yeah,
cop's like, "Oh, you're a brave man." You
yeah,
know, who that guy was in Castaway.
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Well, I like that scene when at the beginning when you're like, oh, this is not going his way when he's being interrogated by the police. And
Yeah.
he's like, you'll
Well,
find out why.
well,
You
Yeah,
find my
and
wife.
yeah.
it was so bad too because it's like here's a guy that's just going through some trauma, and you can just see him trying to steer him.
But
And it's
you know
oh
what?
so
But
bad.
who usually kills somebody like that would be the husband. They always focus in on
Well, they're always the first
Yeah,
suspect.
the
it's
first
always
subject,
your first upset.
and sometimes they you see they've got tunnel vision.
Yeah,
They're not even think and a one-armed man. This guy's saying a one-armed man. He had killed his wife, and he had fought with him. What is he talking? Remember, because that one guy one detective is making a little bit of fun of him. What did he have? One of these little hooks on him.
yeah,
Every he
he had
says,
like a hook or
look,
a
a hook,
claw or.
and he's like, he had a
Prosthetic
prosthetic
hand.
arm. You find this man, like Dave said.
Yeah.
But yeah, but
Let's
so
go, Chewie.
yeah, I mean they railroad him fast,
I
and
Yeah.
know, and you
it's
feel
just
it.
like
Everybody in the theater's like, geez,
yeah, so
this
you
guy just lost his
instantly
wife.
yeah, so you get that instant empathy,
Yeah.
and then it goes straight into the trial, and
Yeah.
he gets the death penalty,
Yeah.
and you're just like, so once he goes on the run, you're just like, why would you not go on the, why
And
you got nothing to look forward to
it's
at that
funny
point.
about those two detectives. Those two detectives, it must be a Chicago thing. Because whenever there is a movie about Chicago or something, usually in cops, those two guys show up because they were in the movie The Package with Tommy Lee Jones as two
Oh, that's
cops
right.
from
Yep.
Chicago. So I think these two guys probably got into the kind of like Dennis Farina did because he was a
Yep,
Chicago
he was a
cop.
cop. Yep.
And every time they have you'll see those two guys, which they've passed away now, but they were always in these type of movies.
That's cool.
That's
Yeah,
kind of fun.
yeah. I think they were actually real cops at one point.
Probably
Yeah,
why
that
they were so
actually makes
Yeah,
good.
sense.
Yeah.
yeah. They kind of look like real
Oh, they
cops.
really did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, so I guess that one scene, we're talking about that he gets thrown in jail basically, and they go to transfer him,
Hmm.
and he's on
Infamous.
the bus, right?
Or,
and he's
yeah.
getting shipped out. He's got like what, three other convicts are in there?
Yep.
3 or 4
Yeah, I
are
think
in
there's
there.
like three others. I
Yeah.
think he's the fourth one, and two of them have basically made a plan for some sort of a break.
Yeah, you see them all looking at each other, and Harrison
Yeah.
Ford's looking like, "What the hell are they looking at each other
Yeah,
for?
what's going
What's going
on?
on here?" He could tell something's going on. He just didn't know what.
Yeah.
You know.
And that is a crazy scene because
Yeah.
they get one of the guards to go back,
Hmm.
and then the other guy's like, "Don't go back, don't go back," and he goes back, and then the guy's got the shiv and shivs him,
Hmm.
and then the one guy just basically takes a shotgun and just starts
Fuck,
Shooting
blasting
everybody.
people,
Yeah.
shoots the driver.
Yeah.
The bus is careening everywhere. He's just firing randomly around the
And then when
inside of this
that bus
bus. Oh my
when that
gosh.
bus goes off and it does that flip and it shows them inside like throwing their bodies around. I mean,
Is that where
it
he
was
got hurt?
real, huh?
Is that where Harrison Ford got hurt?
No,
Was that stunt?
well, not until later on when he's
No,
jumped
in real life. In
when
real
he was
life.
in
when
real
he
life,
when
I
he
think
was
is when he
when
was
he was jumping off
The
The
railroad track.
yeah,
Oh, so yeah, he got hurt and like he tore his ACL.
ACL. They had to shut down for a while.
Like that's why he's like limping throughout the rest of the movie.
Yeah,
I mean, face it, Harrison Ford's just kind of a wuss. He's constantly breaking his legs.
Always going into
tearing
snake
his
pits.
hey,
ACL.
crashing a plane.
Crashing
You know,
Going to
Millennium Falcon drops on his leg.
yeah,
Things like
he tries to do it.
yeah.
but the crazy thing is like that bus wreck is a crazy enough scene,
Oh yeah,
and then
they actually
turns
did
out
that.
you're on a freaking train track.
Yeah,
And here comes a train, and I'm just like,
yeah.
well, this isn't gonna get any better.
They did.
Uh,
They did two things for that.
This isn't going to have a happy ending.
They did two things for that shot. They actually did crash a train into a bus on the track. Yeah, and then
Isn't that crazy?
There you go. Hey, I
and
like
then they
practical
had
effects.
yeah, and then they had a model for some quick cuts
It's like
or something like that.
like on the bridge of the
Oof.
River Kwai, they actually blew up that bridge with the train going across it. For
Yeah.
that, it's. I mean, there was no CGI back then, or they
Yeah.
actually did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they needed after
It's probably cheaper.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But they said that after Harrison got well enough to be able to come back and film, they had to redo the jump scene that he got hurt.
And he was bitching about it.
And he was like, yeah, but here's how they got him to change his mind. They called a little director named Peter Weir,
Witness, Mosquito Coast.
yes,
Yeah.
to come and visit one day on the set. And he took Harrison to the side.
And said, "Look, you're being a pussy. Go
Yeah.
out there and jump."
Yeah. Man, that's
Man, how much money they paying you?
Yeah.
You know, grab your ACL and jump off the
And
damn
he's
thing.
like, I've seen some of the takes and I've read the script because this movie's going to make a ton of money. Even though he didn't really think that, but he just said that to him to get him pumped
I
up.
wonder how much they paid
there
him.
you go.
Yeah. So he did. Peter Weir put him in a better state of mind, and they shot it one more time, and it was like the perfect take.
Well, see, and actually, that's kind of wild because when I was rewatching the film, the missus jumped in, so she's watching part of it, right?
Right.
Oh
And
no,
she's just like, so we get towards the end of the film, she's like, why is he limping all the time?
she noticed that.
Yeah, and so and I was like, well, they're
I
just,
I swear, your wife.
oh yeah,
I've
she
never
notices
I've never
things.
seen somebody pick up on a little thing, something that you don't even really pay that much attention to, but
Or even notice.
it'll jump out at her like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild. But yeah, so she was just like, why is he limping like throughout the whole film? And I'm like, oh, I just assumed it was attention to detail and the fact that I go, well, he was in a train wreck, a bus crash.
He jumped off a
He's jumped
dam.
off a dam. I go,
He could have hit the
shit.
wall.
Yeah, he's like, I'd be limping too. I'd probably just be laying on the ground going,
What else
you know,
could
it's
he?
like a,
What else do you want him to do? You know, good.
but she was just like, why is he like limping? And I'm like, well, because he's a dedicated actor. He knows his role. He knows he's got an injured character. No, he was actually hurt.
Yeah. He
Actually tore his ACL. Okay, now I got to go back and tell her. Oh, by the way,
fell through a window onto an elevator. You know,
Oh,
remember that?
his character just gets beat to hell.
And you know the guy that played Charles Nichols, the bad guy, the doc. He always plays a dick. And
He's great at it.
always,
Yeah.
he is so good at it. He was in The Princess Tides with Nick Nolte, and he was such a jerk in that movie, man. I mean, every time he's in something, he is just the biggest dick.
Is
And
he the one that died after it came out?
no, he's still alive.
Okay,
He's still
gotcha.
alive. Yeah, he's like 87 years old or something like that.
Man, wow.
Yeah, he replaced someone. The original role was done by somebody else, and they wound up with I think cancer or something,
And died before
died before the film.
was released, or
Yeah, or shortly afterwards. Actually, I think he died right before it was released. But
Wow.
yeah,
wow.
but the yeah, the whole part when Tommy Lee Jones kind of steps up and starts chasing after him, and and really the big classic scene is when they're chasing him. They get him through the viaduct, and he winds up slipping down through the grates, and he gets over there, and Tommy Lee Jones, corners him on that drop, and that was just insane.
Oh yeah. He says that line to him. He goes, "I didn't kill my wife."
Yeah, he's like, I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
care.
I don't care. I
Yeah,
love that,
yeah, he's
man.
pointing at. Yeah, but this time Harrison Ford has his gun and he's pointing his own gun at him. He's like, I don't care.
Yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
that's not my
He's such a
concern.
jerk. Yeah. Well, it's like he's telling you. He said, "I'm not trying to solve a riddle here. I'm just trying to catch this back, put you back in jail." You know.
Yeah, and the thing is, though, he winds up solving a riddle
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
along the way.
Along the way, he kind of turns around and he's like, "Oh wow,
Yeah,
this guy really didn't do it.
yeah. Well, it's because Dr. Richard Kimball, he keeps doing things that a murderer
Would
wouldn't
not do."
do.
Yeah.
He puts himself into situations that could compromise him because he's trying to do something good. And so he's constantly kind of putting himself in these situations that are detrimental to him, like
He could get
staying out
caught.
of jail. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's just like Cosmo says to him, Joe. What's that guy from the
Pantoliano.
Yeah, Pantoliano. He's like, okay, this is what I don't get, Sammy. He always calls him Sammy.
Yeah.
He said, why would he come back and they're talking about it, and then this guy walks through with one arm, and they look at each other like, that's why he's here.
Yeah,
He's
it's
trying
because
to
they're in the
find,
hospital.
he's
Yeah.
trying to find the guy with the one arm, and it's so wild.
Yeah. Well, it takes a long time to get to the part where you start to learn about what's actually going on. It's like you're more than halfway through the movie before they even start to look for the killer.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the whole first half of the movie is just him running and trying to escape, and
Well,
then when
that
he
was another thing
and
that
then when he gets back,
Harrison Ford was. He's like, I don't want the whole movie of me being chased. He goes, I want to have scenes of me playing detective and finding evidence to help clear me. And you're right. That's what made that movie even better because they didn't do that. The whole stretch of the movie being them
yeah,
chasing him.
just one long
And that
chase
guy
scene.
that plays the one arm guy, he's a dick in every movie he's in
Yeah,
too.
he is.
And I'm just reading here. He was born in St. Louis.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I can believe
He
that.
passed away in 2006 at 59.
Oh,
But he was a jerk and someone to watch over me too. I mean, he
yeah.
was always the. You guys ever seen that one? That's pretty good.
Tom Berenger, right?
Yeah, and what's her? Tom Cruise's Mimi
Mimi
Rogers.
Rogers. Yeah,
And Lorraine Bracco.
that's right.
Anyway,
Yeah. So in Dr. Richard Kimball, yeah, I don't know why I always have to say Dr. Richard Kimball.
well, the way Tommy
But
Lee
it's
Jones says it when they're
yeah,
going to go
like
get it.
Dr. Richard Kimball.
Your
It's like it's,
fugitive's name is Dr. Richard Kimball.
yeah.
The way he does it. And he goes, go get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when we're watching it, when he goes through and he's doing
Outhouse,
the
in-house.
investigating, right? And he's doing the investigating, and they find he goes there and he goes to the pathology lab and he's going through everything, and and he's like, okay, well, these are the liver samples, because the gal's like, well, here, look at this, and he's like, oh yeah, yeah, liver sample looks like it's perfectly fine. Blah, blah, blah.
Jane Lynch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and of course, my wife, being a physician, she's like, I don't. She goes, there's no way in hell that a vascular surgeon is going to know anything about that. They would have forgotten it all by the time that they were in
Really?
medical school. Yeah, and then right at that point is when she says, yeah, but look, they're all from the same liver. And then Harrison Ford's character is like, oh, because he's like, because he didn't notice that,
He didn't notice it, but she
and
did.
and my wife's like, all right, that's cool.
Yeah.
She's just like, okay, that's a well done scene,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
how many times you get in a situation like that, and then the main character knows what the answer,
Right.
and it's
Right.
like even if it's something that's really kind of outside of their wheelhouse, or they would have stopped thinking about 20 years before, and she was just like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, I like this. This is good, all right.
Let's talk about the other physician in the movie, played by
You're talking about Julianne Moore?
Julianne Moore.
Hey,
Now,
she was in the emergency room.
that's right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So get this. This was the part of the original story script.
Yeah, this is wild.
Mm.
Tell me if you would think that this would work in the movie and why. She was going to. They were going to end up having her helping him a lot.
Hmm.
And I think because she's like I know someone
Then
who
him
knows you or something
shacking
like
up
that.
with her.
And there was a scene where they end up shacking up.
He's
one
like at
night.
her apartment or something like
Yeah,
that.
and they have a
little-
Little brown chicken, brown cow.
yeah.
But they figured.
Well, this is what Harrison Ford said.
Oh, okay. Go
He
ahead.
goes, I see why the studio wants that done, but this guy loved his wife. This guy's trying to find the killer of his wife.
Uh-huh.
Why would he like say "fuck my wife"? Sorry for the language, and go and have sex with someone that soon?
Yeah, he wasn't in prison that long.
Yeah.
No, that would have been
well,
terrible. Yeah, that would have derailed the entire. Well, it would have.
it would have lessened his character. You
It
wouldn't
would
have
have
liked him.
not at all.
Not
Yeah.
you
Not
would
at
have
all.
lost some
I
respect.
mean, even though it was
Yeah,
Julianne
for-
Moore.
Yeah.
But you're right.
Yeah.
You'd be like, this guy's just a sleazeball. Maybe he had something.
Well, you had to save her for Marky Mark a few years later. Burt Reynolds.
But it was just I don't no that would have
Yeah,
been
it would have been terrible.
I like how they handled it where he started eventually going back to the people that he knew and at least thought he trusted, but he was basically just back in the hospital talking to the people that he worked with every
and what's
day
wild
that knew him as a person.
What's wild about it is that they all will help him. Even because that's the kind of character this guy had to them. They weren't scared of him.
Yeah, and they did not think that he
They
murdered his
did
wife.
not
They
think
weren't
scared, yeah.
Yeah, none of them did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what that guy said to Tommy Lee Jones. He goes, and you helped him. He goes, yes.
Remember, he saves that little kid's life.
Right.
Because remember, he's sitting there as the janitor and he's looking at and he's saying, check the film.
Yeah.
Check the film.
Check the x-ray.
Check the x-ray, And then he changes the order on it when he's wheeling the kid.
Yeah, rewrites the order.
And they put him up.
Into
so
the
cool.
That's how Julianne Moore busts him out later,
Yeah.
But it was a really touching scene because when the kids they're wheeling him in there, Harrison Ford kind of takes his hand, puts it on. Maybe that's where he got it from Star Wars, but where he puts the hand on the cheek, and he says "Bye bye, Joel," or I think his kid's name was Joel or something.
Yeah.
It was just a sweet scene.
But yeah,
showed his compassion.
When he saw the kid being scared, he's like, everything's gonna be all right, dude.
Yeah.
This is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think any sort of a little side quest like that would have been just way out of bounds.
And that's just some writers getting artsy, trying to get artsy and trying
Harrison Ford like making out with Julianne Moore, and then then later on he's like, yeah, we probably shouldn't put that in there. I just wanted to film that scene.
Yeah. Let's just do it like.
Was it good for you, honey?
Yeah.
Let's do that scene you did in Boogie Nights.
I didn't kill my wife. I didn't kill my mom. Sorry, this episode is rated PG-13.
I know you guys.
Use one arm. Use one arm. Sorry.
Give me a high.
No worries. I know you prefer it.
Yeah.
That could come in handy.
How are you doing?
Boom, boom, boom. Oh my God! Well, you might know we'd start going to rated R mode.
Scott's arm set to vibrate. I'm in the gutter with my friends.
It's AI.
Yes. But well, I guess one of the things that just did not occur to me in the making of this movie was how much of this was just written on the fly.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either.
They filmed it in order.
That's insane.
They filmed it in order just for that very reason.
Yeah, but you had to film it in order, and then the fact that you could get people to do such a good job acting.
Well,
when they're just but I guess you're in character, you're in scene to scene. It's probably easy to carry it over from one to the next, but still, it's just
they kind of did that in The Shining too. When scenes that Jack Nicholson, he'd say come in the next day and it would be a different color, and literally Stanley Kramer's over in the corner rewriting the scene.
Kubrick,
or I said Kramer, didn't I?
Yeah, I don't know who Stanley Kramer is.
You don't know who Stanley Kramer is?
He was the guy on the news, right?
No, he's not on the news. Stanley Kramer.
Your old boyfriend from
Judgment at Nuremberg, High Noon. Inherit the Wind. I mean, what the hell's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, I know Kubrick.
Okay,
That's a deep cut.
He's
I
a
thought he was talking about a local news anchor named Stanley
I didn't
Kramer.
know. Yeah, Cosmo Kramer maybe.
he had one arm. No,
But,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I can't believe you guys don't know who Stanley. We'll have to do an episode all about a Stanley.
I would
Kramer.
rather do one on Moulin Rouge.
Yeah, that could be a good one.
but no, but yeah. So that was one of the things that kind of shocked me was the fact that they had done that. Because you hear about it nowadays, but nowadays it's like crazy budgets.
Well, what an
You know.
insane way to work. I mean, my
Yeah,
God,
I can't imagine.
but an actor, usually they want to get a script so they can start memorizing their lines. And if you're coming to the set every day and you have a new set of, I mean, my God, what are you going to have people like holding the cars like Marlon Brando used to do?
Hell yeah!
I mean,
yeah, paid
evidently.
20 million. Hell yeah!
I mean that would be
No one's getting paid 20 million back then.
that would be tough, man. That would be
Yeah.
really tough. But I've heard of actors getting a scene like a monologue, an hour before they're supposed to shoot it, and they got to memorize that thing. That's crazy. But you know who won't do that is Anthony Hopkins.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because he reads the script like 250 times so he can have it all down.
Dang.
Yeah,
One of the
Okay,
biggest laughs I get when I watch The Fugitive is after he jumps off into the waterfall. All the rest of the Tommy Lee Jones's team runs up to him. He goes, "What happened?" He goes, "This guy did a damn Peter Pan."
you know I say that all the time at work. If somebody slips and falls, I said, "This guy did a Peter Pan." Oh,
Oh, so cool. He is so good at that.
I love that. I love.
Yeah.
He did a Peter Pan off this day. And I like how everybody's like, he's dead, he's dead. He's like, I want this, I want this, I want,
Yeah.
and he never did believe that bastard. He'd find
He
him.
said,
If
he
he's,
goes, "Did you find a body?"
yeah, if you find him, then I'll stop.
Yeah. Thank
Which
God
was
he did.
funny later on in the film when they're all when he calls and
Yeah.
and he's calling
Oh,
his
yeah.
friend and he's like, "Well, where are you?" He goes, "St. Louis."
Right.
And everyone's like, "You know what? That sounds like an L."
That sounds like an L train.
You know, they're like, "Yeah, yeah," and he's like, "Yeah, it could be any train. It could be blah 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 blah." How do you know it's
Maybe
a
you can
freaking
tell me
L?
the difference between a one on above and one on the ground level.
Yeah. The other guy's like, "Well, no, I lived underneath an L. It does sound
Yeah,
like
they
that."
start
He's
going,
like,
and he goes, "Wait, there's a guy on a PA in the background. Can you just give me that?" He said,
isolate the sound.
Yeah, yeah, and then he goes, "Yeah, it sounded like an L." Remember, he's like giving him shit.
And everybody in his team just like, yeah, which was a cool scene because
Right.
number one, it was funny.
Yeah,
He
glad they
basically, it's like
cut that out.
he's got to prove it to himself.
Right.
He's just
Right.
not going to listen to anybody else, and they all gave him shit for it because they were actually right for a change, which was pretty fun. It was an interesting team dynamic that he actually had.
Well, and in the cat and mouse game between him and Harrison Ford
Oh, it
were
was awesome.
I mean, it was
Oh, yeah.
just so well done. Like when he's in the court when he goes to visit that prisoner with the one arm that he finds, the black guy that's up in there.
It turns out it's the wrong guy.
And then when they get
Going down the
getting that
staircase.
chase, one of the things I thought was very smart is when he's chasing him down there, and Harrison Ford goes out and he goes up to his cops and he says, "Officer, officer, there's a guy back there in a blue coat waving a gun." That is so smart to do that because they just grabbed him. I mean,
but see, the other thing that was smart is when Harrison Ford is like booking it down the staircase, and Tommy Lee Jones is kind of following him because he's like, I think that's him, and he just stops and he's just like, "Richard."
Yeah.
And he
looks up.
just reflectively looks up.
Yeah.
And it's like, ooh,
It's on now.
got it.
Yeah.
Well, it shows you how smart Tommy Lee Jones's character
Exactly.
was. So,
Yeah.
But the one thing I didn't like in this movie, and it's because I carry a gun at work, is that when they're going to get that fugitive, the one that escaped with the black guy with Richard Kimball on the train, the one that gets away.
Oh yeah, the ones they.
And they did this a few times in the movie. As they're going and they got their guns out, they cock their gun. Police officers and U.S. Marshals do not have they have one in the chamber already. They don't go through and pull out their gun and then cock it. But that's just for dramatic effect.
Well, it's
Hollywood.
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 It looks and sounds cool.
Well, you also don't point your gun off to the side.
Right,
they
right,
also, if you notice on that scene, the camera focuses on the pistol and he's holding it off to the side while
right,
he's walking forward,
right.
and it's completely so that you get the
This,
silhouette and
yeah,
you get the drama.
yeah.
Yeah.
You
And
know,
you
it's
know what?
in no way
I would have
realistic.
never thought anything of that unless I've been around police officers that I work with, and me myself carrying. Uh, it's just it's wild to see that now. Now I pick up on it real quick,
Yeah, yeah.
But it's a but
But
it
you
is for
guys,
dramatic effect.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that scene was real cool. Is when the young
Newman,
the young kid on the team, you
Gets
know,
gets disarmed and kidnapped, or basically held hostage.
yeah.
Yeah.
and
I got your
then
man. I got your man.
yeah, and then he just shoots him, and then that
Yeah,
young kid believe, I can't believe you shot that guy.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
You could have killed me.
You could have killed.
You could have missed.
And Tommy Lee Jones says,
Hmm?
Can you
Oh,
hear me?
he says,
Can you hear me
"How's
talking?
that?" Here? He said, "Can you hear me?" He said, "I don't bargain."
yeah.
Can you hear that? Such a dick.
Or when that girl kept
So when she's
screaming,
screaming, and he goes,
he goes,
"Shut up."
"Shut up."
Yeah,
And
she was like,
stops.
"Yeah," she
Yeah.
stopped.
I just didn't
Yeah.
hesitate.
And then the next the next scene or something, he's on the phone and he goes, "Well, what can I tell you? That he had one of my guys. He was a bad man. He had one of my guys." And he goes, "Well, you can blame me, sir. I'm the one who shot him." And hangs up.
So good in that
Yeah.
movie, man. He had the perfect lines, man.
Yeah,
Oh, he really did. I mean, you want to talk about a character that you could just run with.
right.
They did. They
And
made
they
a
did a
sequel.
great job casting him, and it was excellent.
They made a
I
sequel.
wonder if they spent
U.S. Marshals.
U.S. Marshals with
Wesley
Wesley Snipes and Robert Downey
Downey
Jr.
Jr. Yeah.
It wasn't as good. It wasn't as
It,
good.
it's not better or even equal to Fugitive, but it's still a good movie.
And Tommy Lee Jones playing that character has got to be at least entertaining.
It
So,
absolutely is.
yeah.
Yeah.
It was neat to see him again because that character he probably could have made a couple more movies.
Oh God, yeah.
With-
I
as
would,
that
dude, and I
Deadpool.
would have watched
I'd
every
have
one
watched
of
every
them.
one.
I
Yeah.
would have too. You know.
Oh yeah.
Well, I
Big
didn't know
time.
that was a sequel to with the same character.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm gonna have to go watch it. So.
Oh, really? You never seen that?
Dude,
I haven't seen U.S.
It's
Marshals.
really good.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Really good.
it's entertaining, but I mean, Wesley Snipes isn't Harrison Ford. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he did a good job.
It didn't have that chemistry though, like him and
That's
Ford.
a different story, different character.
Well, but see, that's the best thing, because when Tommy Lee Jones is just like, I don't care,
Yeah.
and then at the very end,
Yeah.
he gets him into the police car, they're and it's all over, and he's
Whoa,
figured out that
where's
he's
that?
innocent, and
Yeah.
he unlocks his cuffs
Oh,
while he's
where's
in the
that at?
car,
Yeah.
yeah, and he's like, I thought you didn't care, and he goes,
He's got the ice pack, and he gives him the
he
ice
gives him
pack.
the ice pack, and he's like, I don't,
I like when he takes
but
takes the
don't tell
cuffs.
anybody.
Yeah. Don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
I like when he takes the cuffs off and he just throws them in the front, like get these
Yeah,
bastards
get
off
these-
here.
get these off this
So
guy.
yeah, that is funny when he says, "Don't tell him," and then he laughs. He
Yeah,
does that
yeah.
laugh. Yeah.
That was it, right? That was credits, right?
Yeah, right after that.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, even before then, there was that great line where he's just like, when Tommy Lee Jones is like, I'm glad this is over. I'm pretty tired.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I need to rest.
His character is just like,
Yeah,
you're tired.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
like,
I could use the rest.
I could use the rest. And he's, it is just so damn funny.
Yeah.
And Harrison Ford's reaction when he says that is just classic. He's just got this look on his face like,
And
yeah,
Tommy Lee Jones has
kidding me, right?
always given Harrison Ford accolades. I mean, when I've seen him in interviews, he always refers to him as the always great Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
He really respect him a lot. I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a great movie, great chemistry,
Oh yeah, just
great
fun.
and once
It's
again,
just fun.
great side characters and great supporting actors. Like even all the people around Tommy Lee Jones, they all had their own personalities.
Yeah.
They all had their own
Little
role
quirks.
to
Yeah.
play,
Yeah.
and it just makes it feel more grounded in a little bit more real world.
Well,
you know.
everybody took their part seriously, and they all contributed.
They gave
Yeah.
They weren't just there to say a few lines and go on.
Yeah.
They really, you could tell these people really,
Yeah.
cared about that.
But it's good writing.
Yeah, it's
you're not
very good.
writing one character that knows it all.
And you don't go off on a side thing like we were talking about with Julianne Moore. You don't go on the side thing and then distract and take away
Get away from the focus
the
of
focus
the
of the story. Yeah,
Yeah, stay focused on the story, expand the characters that you've got,
and that's
and then just keep the story moving forward. But yeah, I think there's just there's a kind of a laziness in writing
What was that thing?
nowadays that when you do get a
Yeah.
good movie now, you're just like, this is an amazing movie because they
yeah,
care about the characters.
What
yeah.
was that thing we watched? The story with the one-armed man was going to be different in the movie. It was
Uh,
about he gets into a coal mine accident.
yeah, and well, it had like the one arm man was Harrison Ford's wife's dad or something,
Mm.
and
No, it
when
was no, it was the company of the coal mine.
she was
She was his daughter.
the daughter of
So he
okay,
figured to get back at the boss was to take his daughter out, which happened to be Harrison
Harrison
Ford.
Ford's wife. Yeah,
Oh.
he lost his arm because of
A coal
the
accident.
coal accident
And
instead of in the line of duty like he said it happened.
Wow.
Which it was
different.
yeah, but it's too nuts.
Yeah, that's too out of left field.
Yeah, this makes more sense. And
Yeah, retired cop running security.
when you rewatch this thing, you don't pick up on the fact like at the beginning of the movie when that Charles Nichols his friends say, "Oh, here, Richard, here's your keys back." I brought. He says, "Thanks for the loaner." When I first saw that, I didn't even pay attention to that
Mm.
till later on until you realize that he had. But when you go back and watch it, you see him give him back his keys and stuff. So it's very subtle thing.
it's like if he would have just maybe remind himself that, wait a minute, he had fucking keys to my apartment or house.
Yeah. Well, he never even thought that guy thought he was a friend.
Yeah, I gave him money and stuff for
Yeah.
him to get
So
away. Yeah.
yeah, this is a very good
And
movie.
that guy even told Tommy Lee Jones, he goes, "You're not gonna catch him.
Yeah, boy,
You're too smart."
Yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones hated his ass, didn't he?
Smart as you.
Yeah,
Like smart.
yeah.
And
That was
he
cool.
was.
I like when he says, "You're getting very desperate, aren't you, Mister Gerard?"
Yeah.
The way he says, "Mister Gerard," that guy could have played Dracula. He's so fucking scary.
Yeah.
He's so
He was so scary, dude.
Yeah.
Well, is there anything else you can think of a fugitive?
Just another great film from the '93, right? So early '90s,
1993.
just that early '90s, late
And
'80s, early
go back
'90s
and
kind of
watch the
storytelling. It's
TV show.
great.
Go back and watch the TV show too. See what if you like it.
I ain't got that much time in my life.
I didn't say you. I'm not talking to you. I'm
Oh,
talking to the.
you're
I'm
looking
talking
at
to
me.
the audience. Well, just because I'm looking over at you doesn't mean I'm actually talking to you.
I wish
So,
that was the
so
case.
why
most
don't you
of the
just
time.
get off your high horse? It's not all about you, okay?
You guys stop fucking.
Yeah.
You find us back.
She was my wife.
I don't care.
Yeah, great lines,
Yeah.
great characters,
A lot
great
of fun.
writing.
The
So yeah,
popcorn
Oh
movie.
yeah.
I mean, this
And
is
it
fun.
holds up today. It's still very
Yeah,
entertaining.
it does.
it really
And,
does.
it had been a while since I watched it, and it draws you in.
Yes, it does.
You just can't help but get wrapped up and invested in the story. So it's just a great
Great
film.
film.
Yeah,
Great
they
film.
put out a 4K of it last year, and the picture and sound is amazing.
Okay,
Amazing.
wasn't aware of that. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'll have to track that one down.
By the way, and go check out the sequel, U.S. Marshals. So
Yeah, that one I will track down. That one I will.
Yeah.
it's good.
It wasn't one of my favorites.
Dude, Nino Brown is in it.
Nino Brown. I
See
mean,
him beat.
it just didn't.
Am I
Tommy
my
Lee
brother's
Jones
keeper?
is cool, yeah, but
Am I my brother's
the
keeper?
movie was just, yeah.
I don't think you've seen
One,
it.
one thing,
I don't think
one
you've
thing
seen
we didn't acknowledge on here is
Uh-oh.
who created this. This is based off the characters created by Roy Huggins, who created the Rockford Files
it.
and the original Fugitive.
Now that's
So-
a show I could go back
Okay,
and watch.
that's
Yeah.
cool then.
So and he was an executive producer on this movie. So
Well, there you go. That's excellent.
yeah, so that's probably one reason why it's pretty good too.
That's cool to have
Yeah.
him there to consult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why it was so awesome. So,
All right. If you want to get hold of us, leave a comment on our channel or get a hold of us at spitballcinema@gmail.com. Please like and subscribe.
Yeah, forward it to a friend.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
really
let us know what you think about The Fugitive. Yeah.
yeah, we really like this movie, so please go out and see it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, hey, that's it. I'm Shane.
I'm Scott.
I'm David.
All right.
We love you.
Thanks, folks. Bye.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen up. We have a fugitive that's been on the run for 90 minutes. Average foot speed over uneven ground, barring injury, is 4 miles an hour. That will give you a radius of 6 miles. What I want out of each and every one of you is a hard target search of every gas station, residence, warehouse, farmhouse, hen house, outhouse, or dog house in this area. Checkpoints will go up at 15 miles. Your fugitive's name is Dr. Richard Kimball. Go get him.